So, good day everyone. Uncle Varun again today with Storytime, okay? So, Sir have an exciting story for you all today. I name of Sir story is Anansi and the Lizard, a West African tale retold and illustrated by Cummings, okay? Now, Anansi is a very clever spider, okay? But in this story, Anansi will be outsmarted by another animal, okay? So, let's go. At the spot where dusty road meets a rocky one, Anansi the spider stopped to consider whether to head east or west when he saw a notice posted on a tree. Well, what do we have here? He said, shifting his little bundle that he held and owned. He owned everything he owned. Anansi scratched his chin. The chief's daughter? Someone will win her hand in marriage? Anansi laughed. If the chief had to hang up notices to find a husband for his daughter, she must be a scrawny little thing, Anansi said. Then Anansi read on, whoever can guess her name, how hard could that be, shall marry my daughter and win half my land and rule as chief. Anansi read that line twice. And win my daughter's hand in marriage and rule half my land and will rule as chief. Anansi read on and read on, then scampered off to the west without bothering to read another word. Now had Anansi read on even further, would have seen the warning written at the bottom. He might, but he didn't. And that is where the story begins. Anansi found the chief's village easily enough. Musicians were beating gong 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 gong. Music was playing in the city that he could be heard from miles away. Girls and young men crowded the street laughing and calling out to one another. Anansi dodged the countless feet, moving steadily in one direction. When he came to a high stone wall, he scurried up to get a better view. Anansi had just settled in a comfortable spot on a mango tree. Next to the wall, when the gong 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 music suddenly stopped. The chief will be heard, shouted at the palace guard. Anansi found himself looking down into the courtyard of the village. 3 elegant women sat eyeing the crowd suspiciously. A line of boys gently waved large fans over their heads. The time has come to marry my daughter, the chief began. Her name has never been spoken outside of the palace, the chief said. But whoever can guess her name will win her hand in marriage and will rule half my kingdom. But whoever can guess her name will prove himself worthy of marrying her. Excited whispers raced through the crowd as eligible young men pushed their way to the front. But the chief continued, anyone who dares to come forth with the wrong name will have his head chopped off and feed to the buzzards. The chief nodded to the guard holding a large shiny blade, then marched back into his palace. The crowd thinned out rapidly, and Anansi dropped his sack and scrabbled down from the tree. Better! He fell down. said the lanky grasshopper. Around here we don't just drop things without looking first, you know, the grasshopper said. One day, Anansi boasted, you will tell your grandchildren that you're the first in your village to meet the chief Anansi. So Anansi boasting now, I might even invite you to the wedding. Anansi winked at Grasshopper. Why, I may even find a place for you in the palace? Anansi told Grasshopper. So Anansi showing off, he going to marry the chief's daughter is boasting. Really, Grasshopper guy? I think I would like to live at the palace. Yes, well, Anansi reached for his sack, but I need a place to stay today. Tomorrow will be a big day. Grasshopper hugged Anansi, bundled tightly. Please, friend, come and have dinner at my humble home, Grasshopper said. I insist that you spend the night and allow me to prepare a feast for you. In the morning, please. Anansi smiled, cause he outsmarted Grasshopper already. He boasted to him. He let Grasshopper carry his sack and lead the way. His stomach growled, but Anansi knew it was nothing that a meal couldn't fix. So Anansi is lying and boasting. The dinner only had Anansi more hungry. Some meal, Anansi grumbled. Crumbs, scraps, twigs. The minute Grasshopper dozed off, Anansi hurried back to the palace wall. A juicy ripe mango would do what Grasshopper's dinner didn't have. Just as he reached for a nice ripe fruit, he heard voices coming down. No one will come forth, one girl said. Only someone brave enough to risk his life, another teased, or wise enough to learn your name, said the third. So the princess was having a conversation with her friends by the palace wall, but Anansi climbed up on the mango tree for this ripe mango, and he overheard them talking. And Anansi could not believe his luck. It was the chief's daughter talking with her servants. At that moment, Ahove turned, and Anansi, stunned by her beauty, he nearly fell off from his perch. Ahove, he softly repeated the name over and over as he scurried back to Grasshopper's house. So the chief's daughter's name was Ahove, so he overheard them talking. Grasshopper was asleep in a chair, and Nancy slipped past his horse and hopped into the big bed that Grasshopper had insisted he take. Chief Anansi, he is boasting, so he get to find out what is the chief's daughter's name. That had such a nice song, and Anansi fell fast asleep. Anansi awoke to voices in the next room. True to his word, Grasshopper had called over his friend to celebrate. Cricket, mouse, beetle, snake, and a smart man fellow named Lizard were digging into breakfast feast. When the last crumb was eaten, Anansi hopped up onto the table and he said, I am Nancy, the most wise, the most intelligent, the most clever. I alone know the name of the chief's daughter. I will be the boss. I'm going to be Chief Anansi. I'm going to be the king of the entire kingdom. He spun a tale of a night so dark, a wall so high, and his future bright, so beautiful. And soon I will be rich. I'll be so rich. He added with a glee. Now I must prepare to call on the chief. With a graceful leap from the table, Anansi strut off the Grasshopper's bedroom. Amazing, said Beetle. Cricket rubbed his little legs together in agitation. The guests began to leave, thanking Grasshopper, even as they cited over Anansi's good fortune. But Lizard stayed behind. So Anansi boasted to the friends of Grasshopper that he's going to guess the correct name and he's going to win a hand in marriage and be Chief Anansi. Anansi emerged from the bedroom. He was splendidly dressed in Grasshopper's finest clothes. Anansi, my dear friend, Lizard began trying his best not to hiss. You aren't planning to see the chief unannounced. A servant or messenger, at least, to announce your arrival at the palace. You can't walk in like that as a common man in the village. And Nancy imagined it would be quite impressive if a messenger would announce him. Lizard smiled. Lizard was smart. But who to send? Anansi said, I need someone I can trust. Lizard eyes gleam. Oh, I hope you won't think me too bold, Anansi, but I would be so honored to do this for you. Your gratitude will be all that I would ask, Lizard said. So Lizard smart. He wants to know the name of the chief's daughter. So he's trying out Anansi. Of all, Lizard said, Anansi particularly liked that, in fact, that he would have to pay the lizard. Alright, Anansi said. Go and tell the chief that Anansi is coming to claim his daughter's hand in marriage. And Lizard seemed overjoyed. Yes. He skittered for the door, then stopped. Oh, he said, you better tell me her name, Anansi. You better tell me her name, because I can't just go down to the palace like that. I need to know her name. So when I go and I tell them that Anansi is coming to win her hand in marriage, I need to know her name. Otherwise, I could lose my head. So the lizard outsmarted Anansi. Anansi thought for a moment, then he whispered into Lizard's ear. Lizard, her name is Ahove. Ahove, the beautiful, the most precious, the most blessed and beautiful woman in the world. Anansi looked up, but Lizard was gone. Looking neither right nor left, his messenger was hurrying towards the palace. So the lizard trying to outsmart Anansi, so he tricked him there. Anansi and Grasshopper watched on the balcony as the palace guard listened to Lizard, then allow him to pass. Anansi couldn't help but a little tune as he went inside to admire himself in the mirror yet again. Good morning, Chief Anansi. So he admired himself. Greetings, sir. It's a great honor, Chief. While he was practicing his bow, Anansi noticed Grasshopper watching him. Soon, my friend, Anansi, I will be the chief. I'm going to win half that land. I'm going to marry the chief's daughter. But what Lizard had actually said to the guard was, take me to the chief, my good man. I plan to marry his daughter. So the lizard now going to the chief to tell the chief the name of his daughter. So he tricked Anansi. Go right in, the guard replied. But what he was thinking was what a fine pair of sandals the lizard would make. So they don't think that the lizard going to win her hand in marriage. The chief was startled when he saw a lizard approaching him. But he hid his surprise. Well, after all, a chief must be fair. You have come to marry my daughter, a lizard? The chief laughed. Lizard nodded her head. You know, young, if you guessed the wrong name, Lizard, you will have your head cut off and feed to the buzzards. Lizard gulped. Ooh, and nodded again. He hoped Anansi knew what he was talking about. Turning to the executioner, the chief, boom, ready for your sword, said the chief. Now he demanded for Lizard, what is my daughter's name? Lizard stuttered nervously. What is her name? Ahove? What? A bubbling pot of lizard stew came to his mind, tasty with cassava, dash and a coconut. Ahove, the lizard said to the chief. The wives gasped, the guards gulped, the executioner sighted. The chief sank back into his throne. Sadly, he had to admit Lizard was right and sent for his daughter. So the lizard said the right name to the chief. So Anansi told the truth, right? To the lizard. Ahove, said the chief. Here is your husband. Lizard bowed deeply. Ahove shuddered. Here's your crown, your clothes, announced the chief. After you marry my daughter, half my kingdom shall be yours. There was sudden flurry of activity. Tailors set to sew, servants swept across every corner, and cooks rushed off to the market in search of exotic foods. Oil lamps were lit in the courtyard for a feast that would last through the night. So, Lizard won the chief's daughter's hand in marriage. Anansi heard the music playing. Gong, 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 gong. Music was playing loudly in the village, announcing the marriage. Quickly he smoothed his folds in his robe, checking his reflection again. But the sound of Grasshopper's friend chatter drew him away from the mirror. We heard Lizard is marrying the chief's daughter, and Anansi. Cricket was telling Grasshopper. What nonsense! Anansi snorted. Huh? Lizard went to the palace as my messenger, and Anansi will be marrying the chief's daughter. How Lizard could betray me like this? Anansi drew himself to his full height. Follow me to the palace, said Anansi. Trailed by Grasshopper and his friends, Anansi headed for the palace. He was surprised that the crowd for the festive villagers took no notice of him. Anansi was growing worried. The chief will never find me in this crowd, he called out. Just then the gates opened. Anansi started in disbelief. He stared. In the center of the procession, amid heaps of golden ornaments, sat Lizard with Ahove. By his side, a crown rested on his scaly head. He wouldn't dare, Anansi said. Anansi gulped. That snake? What's that? Snake hissed. Anansi looked very appetizing now that he wasn't going to marry the chief's daughter. But Anansi was already off to Grasshopper's house, muttering and sputtering as he went. Snake could only barely to keep up with Grasshopper, leaped ahead of them, all taking care to stay out of Anansi's path. So Anansi got furious because Lizard betrayed him, and he went to get the daughter's hand in marriage. They all reached Grasshopper's house just in time to see Anansi bundling the last scrap into his sack. Hey, tell your friend Lizard he better watch out. Ashanti that I will tear him from limb to limb. If I ever see him again, I should have known that he couldn't be trusted. Those baby eyes. Why, I thought, could you leave my robe, please? Grasshopper said. Anansi flung the rope to Grasshopper. Be sure. Anansi flung. Then Anansi exploded. Tell him I will find him. Scolding everyone in the room, Anansi spun around to the left. Anansi, any lizard worth his tail can tell the story of what happened in that little village on that wedding day to that lucky lizard, as long as Anansi doesn't see him first, that is. So if you look, they're hiding in the corner of their scurrying along the wall. Doesn't that lizard seem to be a bit nervous? Well, now you know why lizard stretches his neck back and forth, this way and that, because long ago someone did warn lizard. Okay, so the moral of this story today is always tell the truth and be careful for those who you trust. Okay, so always tell the truth and be careful for who you trust to tell your secrets. Alright, now check out the Sangagani Facebook page for more details. Okay, now that's the end of story time today, and this story here, we have this book at the Sangagani Public Library. Okay, now this book here is in our 398.2, so this is available at the Sangagani Public Library. So you will check out the Sangagani Public Library Facebook page for more details.